Who is ready for another painting video? Me, I am. I am excited to be painting every day for you. So excited. I had a request for a lighthouse, and being in Maine, I have a lot of lighthouses to choose from, but there's one that is probably the most iconic. Can you guess? Portland Headlight. People know this lighthouse from all over. If you've been to Maine, you've probably made it one of your bucket list stops, and it is beautiful. It's very scenic, and I'm going to take my own spin on it. I'm using a reference photo. Again, not showing you because I don't want you to expect mine to look like that. But if you've been to this lighthouse or seen pictures, you probably will recognize it, at least by the end, I would hope. If not, it'll still be a very scenic lighthouse painting, and hopefully it brings you kind of peaceful vibes while you're looking at it and feels like you got away for a second. All right, let's get started. Today I'm using an 8x10 pad of paper. I got this at the Dollar Tree, and I'm using Winsor & Newton designer gouache paints. So it's like saying squash, but with a G, gouache. I'm using only primary colors. I have ultramarine blue, cadmium yellow, and cadmium red, and I am making all of my own shades as I go. You can see that I'm adding all of my landmarks for where the land is going to sit, where the horizon line will be, where my sky is, and the water. There are some rocks that went out into the water in my reference photo, and so I'm adding those pieces in as well. And I'm adding in some light areas where the sun is hitting. Adding some land to the horizon line and making sure that those rocks in the water stand out so I don't forget and try to make them water too. Blocking the buildings, adding roof and other details that will just help me visualize the whole project a little better. This is when I'm assigning everything its own space. I don't want to accidentally make my sky go over where the lighthouse is going to be because I want that to be as uncomplicated a lighthouse as possible. I think it's such a bold structure that is so minimalistic, and that's part of the appeal of lighthouses, how they're such a pillar. And I'm just adding a little shading just to make sure that we can tell where the lighthouse ends and the building begins. Didn't really like how that roof looked, so you can see that I just take a paper towel and I'm just dabbing at that and helping lift some of the extra color. Adding the eaves of the house, making sure that everything is in its proper place. And this is a great time if you're going to be using extra tools to grab a ruler or literally anything with a flat edge. You will note if you come to my house that a lot of books might have paint on the edges and things like that. Never a library book, but I'm creative with what tools I use. You don't need to be fancy. Adding some shading to the building and giving that a pop of color that's going to draw the eye to that lighthouse section of the painting when it's finished. Adding some grasses and things closer to in the painting so that you can get a feel for the depth of what we are looking at. I'm adding darker shady spots to between rocks and where the shadows are on these rocks that go out into the water. I want to give everything a lot of depth if I can. I try to just see what is evident to my naked eye. Do I see greens? Do I see yellows? Do I see purples? I try to be as true to what I am visualizing as possible. And sometimes if I don't have that exact color and I can't seem to make it, I'll go with something else that's similar in how dark or how light of a color it is. And I will just play with it until I figure it out. I'm going to continue to add more shadows to give more depth to the painting. I'm feeling it come together, but I'm also feeling like it's not quite there yet, and I really want to do this justice. So I'm going to just keep adding more detail and following my gut until I feel like the painting is done. I'm adding some more color to the areas that were still blank, and just making sure that everything feels like it's intentional and that nothing feels forgotten. I jumped ahead there for a second. My phone had died and I didn't realize it. So you see there were some changes, some more blue in some of those rock formations and things, but you didn't miss much. Now I'm adding some more deep kind of burnt orange colors, maroon, and adding the fence lines here around the buildings. And now I'm done. What do you think? What do you want to see next?